So this lesson is on making charcoal poultices. And beyond that, it's a lesson on the use of charcoal itself. Charcoal is a wonderful natural remedy, and especially for those of us who have leaky gut, it's something that is good for us to take. Some of us have issues with mold exposure and some other kinds of environmental toxins, so it's something that might be very helpful for some people to do on a daily basis for a little while. I like to take, like a teaspoon in my water, drink it at night. I'm working with someone who wants me to take it even more frequently than that. But the one thing about taking charcoal internally is that, like clay, it can constipate, especially if you're not drinking enough water. So, and I tend not to like to, I'm like everybody else. It's hard to manage to do all the things you need to do in the day, and so I do get behind and forget. You're doing a lot with charcoal, Mercy?
Yeah, we like to do like 1 tablespoon.
You do 1 tablespoon?
At bedtime. And yeah, but you have to drink a lot of water. If you drink a lot of water, it shouldn't be a problem. But if people suffer from constipation, we had to say, just go 1 teaspoon like you do.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing that Mercy likes to do is she actually uses charcoal to brush her teeth.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, she's staying over here, so I know.
White teeth. You put I brush my teeth after flossing, and then I just paint it with charcoal every night. I haven't had a cavity since I've been doing that. It's been about 7 years, and no problems at all. So if you want to keep your teeth, that's a good thing to do.
Right, yeah. Right. Charcoal is a wonderful thing for infections. It's a wonderful thing for, insect bites. And, I had a friend who went to Thailand or Cambodia. He went to Cambodia as a missionary, and he is a physician. And apparently while he was there, there was a gentleman who got bitten by a poisonous snake. And in the 10 years in that village, anybody who had been bitten by a snake of that type had died, And with him being there, they used charcoal, they rushed them to the hospital, and they were so impressed this man survived. And they believe it's because of the use of charcoal in that case. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to make a charcoal poultice. And when you're using charcoal, you want to be around a sink, and you want to be in a place that it doesn't matter if you get dirty. I'm wearing dark clothes. I don't want it to get on myself. If it gets on you, it will stain. So I'm going to put the charcoal here in the sink, and then I'm going to spoon it into my bowl very carefully. Now, when I put charcoal in my water, I will do charcoal first, and then I will put the water in. Is that what you do, or?
Yeah, I do this the same way.
The same way, right? And so when you're pouring the water in, you want to pour it in carefully along the sides of your bowl or the sides of your glass, and that way that minimizes the possibility that you're going to get a lot of charcoal floating into the air. And so when you're making a charcoal poultice, you can add a fair amount of water. You can add as much water as you want, actually, but the more charcoal that you have in it, the more potent it's going to be. So now if I just leave this alone, this will just be a watery liquid type of thing. It won't stay at all. I should wipe this off before it. Okay. So I'm going to, Mercy, do you mind grabbing the spoon? So I'm going to start mixing this around. And you can do this in a number of different ways. And there are a number of different things that you can use to bind up the charcoal. So you can see here it's very watery. And if you were to drink this, this would taste no different than just drinking water, basically. You can flavor it anyway. I have, put honey in here, ginger, that kind of thing. And I've had children drink it. You know, they get used to drinking it as long as it tastes okay. So what I like to do, and everybody's a little different, I like to just sprinkle psyllium husk powder in a little bit at a time. And if you put in too much, then this will just become a very thickened, hardened thing. If you put in too much at a time, it becomes kind of like you get lumps and clumps, and I don't like that. So this psyllium husk, it's not that fine, and so there are others that are powdery, and I like those a little better, but this is what we have, so this is what we're going to use. Now you use flaxseed, Neil.
I did flaxseed, so it works well, but I do like when you came and did a class on it. I really liked it better with the texture with the psyllium. It's more pliable.
Okay.
And yeah.
I just find it convenient because psyllium husk powder you can carry around everywhere. You don't need to refrigerate it, and it's just convenient. So now, what are you using charcoal poultices for?
We use it also for inflammation. When people have kidney conditions, we put in the kidney areas.
Okay,
or the liver
where
area.
is that kidney area?
So it's in the mid back, on the sides of the mid back. So
Okay.
we make poultices, measure about the approximately size of the kidney. Sometimes we do it in the liver also.
Okay.
Pain in the abdomen pain.
So you'll put it right over the abdomen? Now,
Right on the problematic area.
the thing about these remedies is that, you know, some people, they are very skeptical about how this works because, you know, charcoal has an absorbing effect. And so it'll absorb these inflammatory mediators, it will absorb toxins. You know, this is what they use in the ER when kids come in with poisoning and I'm not sure exactly how it works when we apply it to the skin. I think it has to do with that effect that it has to absorb, but also I think it has an effect on the autonomic nervous system too. It's super soothing because it's as soon as you put it on, you feel that soothing relief. And
yes, I think one time I had a lady was having pain, abdominal pain, so we just put a poultice there, and it really
very
fast.
quickly.
Yeah, very
Yes.
quickly.
So a lot of these things, when we get sick, I think that people have forgotten the importance of good nursing and how important that is, you know,
Yeah.
because a lot of times we think in terms of medicines and the chemistry behind what is happening and how things work, but that the touch and the effect of things on the skin is such an important thing in terms of healing. And it's no different when it comes to something like leaky gut or autoimmune disease or the pain and the inflammation that you have there. So that's why these remedies are so powerful. Things like charcoal, poultices, you can see it's thickening up. And I think that's why too, you know, people who just are looking at, you know, what diet is best, you're going to get some help. But when you attack inflammation and disease from all aspects, including, you know, these natural remedies and the effect that it's having with personal contact and, you know, all of that, the emotions, it's even more powerful. So here it's thickening up. Now this is where, you know, this is where it's a skill, because at this point you might think, well, this is still too runny, right? And it's not going to, it's not going to work because it's too runny. But if you put in too much, then it becomes too dry. And you want this to be pretty moist for it to work. So this is still a little bit runny, but
the longer you use,
the
longer you wait.
Then yes, because
thickening.
this takes a little bit of time to take effect. And so I kind of go slow. There we go. I think this should be pretty good. Let's see. And you can see there are no clumps.
It looks pretty good.
It looks pretty good. It's getting pretty firm. And just for the purpose of this, and I don't want you to get charcoal, you know, on your white blouse there. So I'm just going to make sure it's pretty firm. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to take, actually, I'm going to...
More paper?
Yeah, we'll make it a small poultice, okay? But I like to cut a paper towel in half, and I will make these actually big. So I'll take a paper towel, I'll fold it in half, and depending on what you're treating, if you're treating a large area, then you're gonna use, of course, more. And you're going to put this right in the middle and fold it like that. And then we can put it right on top of the area that is hurting, and take some saran wrap. This is a pretty easy area to treat because it's just on the wrist. But if you have a larger area, like on the back, the kidney area, liver, then you just put it straight, flush, and then you would take some tape. Where did I put the tape?
This is pretty good.
Okay, I just wanted to illustrate. When you tape it, I use skin tape, and you want to tape all the way around, because if there's any areas that are not taped, especially if it's on the back surface when you're sleeping at night, it will get out and make a mess. And so you want to make sure you have tape that goes all the way around and involves both the skin as well as the tape. And I have slept with this overnight on my back area without having any issues. But it's good if you're going to sleep with this, that your bedding, that you don't mind it getting dirty. So you might want to use older bedding. You might want to have a towel or something that's waterproof, and have a shirt that's tight fitting and it's older and you don't mind it getting soiled. And you can use it for about 8 to 10 hours, and then after that you want to throw it away because it's absorbed a lot of things and you want to get rid of all of that. Anything else that I've missed, Mercy?
No, I think you covered everything. Thank you. I learned a lot.
So that's how you use it. And when you're taking it internally, it's the same concept. It's just going to be smaller amounts of the charcoal. As Mercy said, 1 tablespoon with a glass of water. And first putting in the charcoal, putting in the water carefully so that it doesn't get all over you. And you can take these charcoal powder form, as we have. You can take it capsule form, tablet form. Powder, you're going to get the most.
Yeah.
Capsule, it's easy and
Very small
convenient to take on trips with you, should you get food poisoning or that type of thing. The tablets tend to have binders. So you're going to have something in addition to just charcoal in the tablets. And so those are all just things to be aware of. But in whatever form you get it, I think that's the most important thing, that you have access to it, you know how to access it, and you know how to use it.